On green screen.
And we are live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Bigfoot Odyssey's 12 Days of Christmas. This is day number 1. And I tell you, I've missed the last couple of shows. I'm out in the middle of nowhere, and it's been rough. 1, no internet. 2, working. I know Brad had made the announcement the other night that I was working 12-hour days. No, that's not true. It's been 14 and 16. So, yeah, and I might be able to make it tomorrow night. I'm hoping. Definitely, we'll definitely be back for the second half for sure. But with me, as always, producer and co-host of the show, Miss Daniela Aiello. She has done all of this. She put every bit of this together. I have zero input on any of this. So fantastic job, Daniela.
Thank you very much.
Oh, no, thank you.
Get as a guest for Christmas Eve, unless we just have the night off.
Yeah, I might be there Christmas Eve. I don't know if we have Christmas at the house. I'll be there. If we don't,
cool.
Same as last year. But our guests, they are the creators of Blueline Bigfoot. You can find these guys on YouTube. They have a really good series and several good things you guys are doing. It's a recorded show that you guys do for YouTube, Mountain Stream. I was lucky enough to be lucky number 13 on that. Had a lot of fun doing it. You guys actually have a production there, and it's really great. So welcome, gentlemen. Good to see you guys again.
It is great to be here. It's been quite a long time.
Yeah, it's been as long for you guys, almost long for me since I've been here.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I hate missing it, but and I'm hoping my internet holds up. I got 2 whole gigs, so if we're probably going to cut this at an hour because that's about what I use is about a gig an hour, so I can be here for tomorrow night for sure.
Cool.
And then I'll do my best to get some more internet, but we'll see. So what's been going on, gentlemen? How's it going, Jake?
Well, it seems like old times. I'm coming into the last minute, just getting my socks on and getting the stewed set up here. And geez Louise, how you doing, Miss Daniela? It's been a while.
Doing good. See, you're all looking festive there in the background.
Well, just these old rags, I just threw them together quick.
That's good.
My heart's thumping through my chest here. Adam, what about you?
Well, I did actually get a fresh cucumber from the store today. I was going to make a salad for dinner tonight. Ended up going with deep fried tater tots. If you guys haven't had deep fried tater tots, you gotta try them. They're so much better than in the oven.
2 ends of the spectrum there. I was gonna eat healthy and do a salad.
I got the cucumber.
You could have fried the cucumber too, huh?
Well, I'm as cool as the cucumber right now. Is what I was. I was just roundabout gonna say something like that, but I got off tangent there. Those deep fried tater tots, and then I put them in some leftover Thanksgiving gravy. Dipped them in there. Woo! Not the healthiest snack, but tell you what, they're good.
Wow, you're skirting the limits on that Thanksgiving gravy, man. That's about 3 weeks old, isn't it?
No, I actually made a new batch because I made a lot of stock. And we just did Thanksgiving dinner all over again 2 nights ago.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Well, I can't wait to get home. I get to go home Friday. I'll leave here after work Friday and be home early Saturday morning, and home for 13 days.
Good for you. Speaking of Thanksgiving, guys, how was your Thanksgiving, Daniela? Did you do Thanksgiving over there? What do you got going on? Nothing like that?
We don't do it.
Don't do it. Well,
they don't give thanks. They're not thankful for it.
Maybe sometime I'll give you some recipes. We'll do some swapping of some recipes, and you can try out some of the stuff that I cook on Thanksgiving. I did Thanksgiving for my entire family this year. Did the COVID thing, and got all these nice to go things from a restaurant that my sister works at, and then shipped the dinners out to my different family members and did it that way. So we did the cooking here at this house and shipped the stuff off, but it was fun. Yeah. Some of the recipes are real good. We do a lot of cool stuff. What about you, Carrie? Were you home for Thanksgiving this year?
I was breaking the law.
Breaking the law.
That's good.
Not afraid to admit that I'm a fugitive right now. I was breaking the law. We had 53 people at the house.
Really?
And everyone's fine and healthy. And,
gotcha. You're breaking the law. Nice.
Yeah, it was no issues. But
good to hear.
Thanksgiving is usually at our house. I think Christmas might be at our house this year. Linda has a massive family. She has 4 sisters, now and a brother. So, and her mother, and there's nieces and nephews. And I think I got a picture of 27 people that was just nieces and nephews. Everyone together. So, yeah. So Linda and I cooked Wednesday, and I had a good time. I've never been to England, Daniela, but I hear the food is not very good over there. Is that true?
It depends what you have.
Well, I know this. I know that like we use ketchup here, right? You have tater tots, we eat ketchup, French fries, ketchup,
Don't know what tater tots are.
They're okay. It's hash browns, little round hash browns.
Just hash browns, then. Yeah, we have hash browns.
Yeah,
little nugget, little ball
nuggets,
things.
hash brown nuggets. That's what they are.
Yeah.
Little barrels.
So, but you guys use vinegar like ketchup.
Yeah,
that's what I heard.
Well, ketchup has vinegar in it, doesn't it? So I guess.
Yeah, but I don't know. It doesn't taste like vinegar. So.
You can't taste it really.
It's vinegar and tomato, basically. Ketchup, it's that.
Okay, is it okay?
Yeah.
But I mean, you got just vinegar, like
we have vinegar on fish and chips. Yeah, but ketchup as well. So I mean, I'm not into all that because I was brought up with Italian and Polish parents. So my food is more continental, and
I mean, your food. If vinegar makes it taste better, I mean,
it can enhance. It can enhance. No, it sounds weird, doesn't it? But what about pickled, like pickled stuff? Pickled onions, pickled egg.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
okra. We do pickle okra here, and that's a big thing, pickled okra. So, what's the plan here? Because I've got nothing. Literally, I'm just off the cuff. Merry Christmas, everybody! By the way.
Well, why don't I jump in with a nice? You guys should Google a little recipe called switchel. Now, those in the farming industry may recognize this name because you would drink this little liquid, sweet nectar of the gods when you would go out into the hayfields doing the haying, because it was mostly vinegar, sugar, and what do you know what else was there? Rhubarb. Another ingredient? Rhubarb. Jeez Louise. It was like bug juice, only it would make you pucker up, pretty wicked, but boy, I love the taste of that stuff.
Apple cider vinegar is supposed to have, with the mother, it's supposed to have lots of good properties in it.
Yeah.
Linda drinks vinegar. Linda drinks pickle juice. She'll just,
I like that.
She's healthy as a horse.
It is good. It's good for you, and it's good. I drink it myself on time to time.
I think if Linda got COVID, that it would last in her for about 5 seconds, and that would be it. I don't know. She, Linda's a charge nurse at a hospital, so she's been around it. They had like 90 something when this thing first started back in April. People in the hospital, and she never got anything. She's been tested multiple times, and I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, that's good.
Immune, totally resistant. Yeah, we're
Stay
careful,
safe.
but still. So what else we got?
Crazy times. Well, me and Jake were thinking of some fun holiday type things to do with you folks today. We have a giveaway. We haven't worked yet up the actual contest of the giveaway. So we were thinking maybe, do something like the first person to maybe answer a question, or maybe a certain person that comes in the chat and says something. I don't really know. I don't have the chat in front of me, but if anybody has any ideas on this, I mean, we have a really a quality piece for you guys. It is it's a little gorilla keychain with a birthday hat.
That doesn't look like a gorilla. It looks like an orangutan.
That's what it is. Yeah, it's an orangutan. So anyway, this thing can be used not only for your keychain, but you can also hang this as an ornament on your Christmas tree, guys. And if we get this out to you quick enough, you'll love this, and then you'll have it for years to come. Just keep it on the tree, then it won't get dirty. Pack it away after Christmas is over.
You should have just called it a Bigfoot. You could have called it a Bigfoot and probably got away with it.
This is the closest thing to a Bigfoot that I could find for the giveaway.
And what is its Christian name? What's that's Christian
that's his actual name is Christian.
Oh,
yeah. Christian. It's his actual Christian. Okay, all right, nice. Okay.
Yep, Christian. So we have to come up with a little game for a little. So whoever wants to win little Christian here can win little Christian. And wouldn't that just be the cutest darn little thing on a tree hanging up? The kids would love it. So would Margot and all the kids. You know what I'm saying?
That would just make Christmas, literally.
Now, on a side note, I do want to bring to your attention something different that I put up on my Christmas tree every year. And this was gifted to me from my friend Nellie. Gave this to me years ago. And it is just the cutest little bugger. See that little Daryl?
Wow.
Look at him.
Now that's an orangutan, right?
This is a mountain gorilla, actually. That's a mountain gorilla. I think this was
that's the miniature of the
Diane Fossey. Yeah, it is.
We saw there was one of these statues for sale. It was like $900. It was made of like concrete or something, because it was majorly heavy. Sitting out in front of the conference where we went in East Texas, Jefferson, Texas. Sure enough.
Yeah, those are cool. Jake, don't you have like a medium-sized one of those?
A medium-sized one?
Yeah, like a desktop size one?
I think so, but no, but well, here's the thing of it is, we had the great collapse of 2019, where whilst taking down the Christmas tree, it did knock over, and a bunch of them. So I don't know. I haven't looked. I couldn't bring myself. A lot of old Christmas ornaments broke. My TARDIS Christmas ornament. I think Yoda got broke. The gnome with the New York Giants sweatshirt on, that one broke. And geez, I was heartbroken for a few days, Adam. So I'll have to get back to you on that. But yes, long story longer.
If you look really close, it's not focusing in, but you can see on his knees, there's some epoxy in there. See that?
Yeah.
This broke, and I had to epoxy the legs back on this thing. But I did a pretty good job. You can hardly tell from a distance, Jake. But I know what it's like to lose an ornament. I do. It's not fun. It's not fun.
Yeah.
It makes it more valuable, doesn't it? The fact that bit of epoxy. They used to do it, didn't they, in ancient times? They used to, if they broke something, they'd seal it with gold, and that would make the piece more valuable than what it originally was.
Yeah. That's excellent.
Fascinating.
That is. That's cool. I'd never heard about that.
So are you giving that away?
No, I'm giving. This is the one which I think holds a little more value. My little guy here is too sentimental now that he's broken. This is the one we're gonna be giving away. He's awful cute. I just absolutely love him. And
we need a question then, don't we?
We need a question. That's correct.
Have we got one?
I do.
Okay, brilliant. Have you got an answer though?
Now wait.
Now that is a tricky.
Our chat is not the same as YouTube's chat. Remember that. So
I'm going to look on YouTube.
You're going to go to the first one you see that's on YouTube. That's right answer, not on here.
Adam, send me the answer.
Jake's going to do that. Jake's going to do that.
I'll send it to you in my mind. This is an impromptu kind of what you say off the
mind speaking.
Well, just one. Okay, I'll infrasound it across the channel. Now, by boat, it would take you 10 to 12 days to go from New Jersey to England. But from here, I could probably get it there in about 0.75 seconds. But the question I had and just came to mind was, how would there's a certain number, because I like numbers, there's a certain number of episodes between the last time the BLB was on the Bigfoot Odyssey and till right now. So if you go by researchers report number 1 into whatever this night is, or you'll get roundabout. There is a number. The last time we were on,
including late shows and everything.
No, just I guess I would just say reports. No, just researchers reports. How many researcher How many researchers' reports have passed since? Okay.
All
right. Do you know the answer?
No. Throw out the numbers. I'm seeing some numbers here.
I see Lindsay put out 40. So I will say, so I can see him coming. And no one's.
Bay's 40. Andy gone fishing 18. Ranjo K is 11.
Hey, Adam, do you remember? Adam, do you remember the last time we were? I think we were out at Thrains, weren't we, Adam?
Yes, that's correct.
Were we out at Thrains?
Hilton put the whole lottery up there. 31, 32.
He's a good looker, that Hilton. Yeah, I'll tell you.
Oh yeah, he cheated. Iron Dogger says 23. Strangeland is 26.
So I just want to put something out in people's mind.
Bigfoot and More is 13.
Oh, geez. Are you
More? That's David. How are you, buddy? I'm getting that documentary together. I'm halfway done.
That was a question I was going to be asking you.
Know that I have worked. I'll tell you this. I went to work at 1 o'clock in the morning, night before. Let's see, Thursday night. It was Friday morning, 1 a.m. and worked. Thursday, Friday morning, 1 a.m. and worked until 6 p.m. and then went to sleep and got back up and was back out at 4 a.m. I'm doing reports at 5 a.m. every morning, and I'm in here at 6, 7 sometimes. I got pretty lucky today. So I'm just not with it. When I come in, I shower, eat, and go to sleep. So I've only got 5 more days. While I'm home, I'm going to get it finished.
That's going to be, I'm excited.
So we're looking at a Christmas Eve, probably maybe the 23rd. Ooh. We're premiering that, but it's going to be so good, y'all. I mean, this is just the way the story, not the way it's filmed or anything, or how none of the effects, none of that stuff, filters, but his story, the evidence, the interviews we got with David, just and Lady in the Woods, her interview is in there. Put that at the end. Brad and I doing the intro and the outro instead of Linda because she wasn't there. Yeah, it's really going to be. You guys are going to like this one. Mark Copeland is
excellent.
This is going to, if you don't believe or if you're on the fence, you'll be a believer when you get done with this.
That's awesome. It's like a little Christmas present to everybody.
Yeah, I wish I would have gotten it done already. I just got hit with this and had to be out here, and this is the worst place in the world to be. I sent you a video today, Daniela, and that was nothing. It's kicking out here right now about 40 miles an hour winds. After I sent that video to you, maybe about 10 minutes later, you could not see 5 feet in front of you. The wind was blowing so hard and saying there's no trees out here.
Yeah,
and it was about 40 earlier. I think it's 27 out here now.
Really?
It's cold. Yeah, it's cold.
Wow, it's colder than here.
Yeah,
we got warmed up real good here today. Yeah.
Is anyone keeping an eye on what that number is? Jay?
I'm glad you asked, Daniela. I have a little update. Since was it Linda or Lindsay, the first 40?
Yes.
Ruger Ridge is the closest one. He's over, but those two are the closest one. Everyone else is in 37. I don't want to do higher, lower, but it's the last time Adam and I were on the researcher's report. I'll give you a little hint. Also, Mr. Justin Trapinski and Ronald Moorhead were on at the same time with Carrie and Daniela, and we're having you guys having a little round robin, and that's going to be my hint. So, the last researcher's report was the one with the Blue Falcon radio, I believe, right?
Right. What number was that?
Well, that would be researcher's report number 156.
Okay.
So
I know the number now.
It's the number.
You do.
It's the number in between. How many videos?
Yeah.
That you're after. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we're putting it on a plate for you, kids at home. or it's on a silver platter.
Thank you, Ranjo K. I am amazing. Thank you. I'm very humble too.
Good validation.
This root beer is pretty nice.
Is anybody taking any notice?
Yeah, look, I gave the biggest hint, I think. Oh wait. Look.
I see you. Phyllis. There you go. Ding, 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 ding.
Because Justin and Ron were on our 100th episode.
Well done, Phyllis.
Yeah, that is correct.
Phyllis, somebody's got some brains.
You know, I really hate to part with little Christian here, but
best moderators in the business.
I think he's going to a good place, to a good home. We'll be hanging from the tree. Congratulations. You're going to love this, and you are just going to love Christian. He is I've got your email, Miss Phyllis. You can just email me your address if you want to. I'll send it to them. Or that'd be great. That'd be great.
Blueline Bigfoot.
We would like to get this right out immediately, so we can preferably tomorrow, so this can go on this year's tree. Make sure it gets there on time.
Oh yeah.
So congratulations.
Congratulations. And I just noticed, sorry, Jennifer Nobel, send me your address, please. You're not out of time for the card. I got your email.
Yes, Daniela is painting Christmas cards. So
very
one is going to be two will be the same.
Very cool.
The same. I'm giving them out for my subscribers as a thank you for supporting me this year on my channel. So I'm giving away cards. If people email me, I'll send you one out.
Nice.
Well, Daniela, you've been hard at work too, didn't you? You just had a show on Hidden Existence today, didn't you?
Yeah.
Number 22.
You and Jason.
Yeah, we had Pat Turner on.
Pat. Pat's an awesome guy.
Yeah.
I was actually gonna have Pat be my co-host for the late show, and ended up with choosing Brad. So it was between Brad and Pat.
Bit of a contest there. That's an example. One of the cards are made. So
very, very nice, classy and cool.
So yeah, Pat, maybe Pat can help out as well if you can't get on over the next 12 days.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he wouldn't have a problem. I've been having Matt Larson from Central Florida Bigfoot fill in for me on the late show, and I like Matt. He talks. He knows what he's talking about when he talks. Usually, there's just one thing, Matt, and you know what I'm going to say. He says that there's just no way you can catch a Bigfoot on camera every time you go out. And he's probably right to a degree, but I think there are certain circumstances that if you know where they are and you've been there long enough and you've done things to create like a Pavlovian response, like you've been feeding them, like Mark and Melanie's asked you, they throw 5 pounds of apples every time they go. And you can hear every time they go, you can hear the brush popping. These things are coming in. So, and then they kind of get in relatively the same places to watch them, but they get behind things. They're so hard to see. I think when Mark says when he pulls his camera out, that's when they hide. I guess they think it's a gun or something. I don't know. But that would be a circumstance where you could catch them every time you go. I mean, they don't go every day. I think they go once a week and once every 2 weeks. But he caught one the other day that was just fantastic. 2 frames. This big dude's just poking his head out, looking. In the second frame, you can see he's put his hand on the tree and he's moved a little bit. You guys, if you haven't seen it, email me. I'll send you guys that picture.
Yeah, I want to check that out.
Danielle, did I send them to you?
No, I don't think you did.
I want you guys to see this. I'm gonna send it to you, Danielle. See if we can create some content for this show tonight.
That'd be excellent. I do have an encounter story for some point to read this evening.
We're going
just like the olden days.
Yeah, we were hoping to get maybe a Christmas encounter story, but none came in. I don't know if it's because of this area, and being that the snow is up here during Christmas or what, not exactly certain. So anyway, we have a pretty interesting one at some point.
You know Kenny Irish and Gary Rubblestow from the New York Paranormal. They're in your area.
I don't know.
They're really interesting guys that are doing research in the
Adirondacks, yeah.
Adirondacks, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna connect you guys.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, definitely. So, are you sending me something, Kerry?
Sending you 2 pictures.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not in order. The second picture is the first part of the frame.
I'll go and get them.
While we're waiting here, I might as well throw this little number out. Hey, people in the chat, how many days since the very first day the Bigfoot Odyssey launched on YouTube until today? How many days is that? So there are several ways you could look that up if you are looking at the Bigfoot Odyssey's channel on YouTube at a separate window browser, or I don't know what that's called, but
well, I know what day we started on. So
yeah, I do too. And now if you put that into the Digilator and into the Googleator and say, hey, how many days since this day until this day, it spits out a number. And that's what I wrote down. But look at all these numbers, man, digits.
Probably lots of numbers, huh, Jake?
Time to figure it out.
There are several numbers. It's you have to have 4 fingers this is a 4-fingered number. So the first day Bigfoot Odyssey uploaded to YouTube until today.
I forget how many days. I forget how many days are in each month. So I have issues with that.
Well, and that depends on leap year too, because we get that extra day every 4 years.
Who figured all this stuff out, huh, Jake?
I don't know.
Leap year. What is that?
What
is that? What does it even mean?
24601. That's not the number.
That's Jean Valjean.
Oh wait. Yeah, it is. Jean Valjean. Now there's a guy on a wrestling podcast who has a satellite station 24601. He must be a Les Mis fan.
Oh, I used to be back in the day, Jake. Remember that?
Oh,
did you go down to the city with me and watch that? Did you go down to Les Mis?
You couldn't get away from it. Yeah, we went to Proctor's to see the off-Broadway. There's 7 of us jumped into this. Was it a Taurus or a Cavalier? Must have been a Chevrolet Cavalier. 4 in the back, 3 in the front.
I know the number.
You do.
He's got the number.
Paul Holland's pretty close, actually.
Yeah, but I haven't seen an actual yet.
Cheese Freak, Ginger Snap, between Cheese Freak and Paul Holland. Well, Hilton, 1969.5.
Oh, you guys are so close. I mean, all you have to do, bingo, we have a wiener.
Who won?
Audrey and Jamie.
Get off for now. So you got a winner.
1194.
Audrey and Jamie. 1194.
Yeah, that's not the number.
I believe it. What? It's not the number? Well, I'm just going off of YouTube statistics. I went to the Stats for Nerds department and went to the About section, and it said Bigfoot Odyssey launched a channel September 6th or September 5th, 2017 or something like that. So I typed into the Digilator.
That's when the channel launched, but we didn't put our first video. We put our first video up March the 18th.
What?
Of 2018.
Ooh, there you go. 2 different numbers then.
Well, that's what
that sounds of things.
That's the beauty of numbers. Okay.
What was showing those photos? Sorry, Kerry, I didn't realize.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, show them. Let's see. Can we see them? Can you guys see that bad boy poking out his head out?
Oh,
he's got a big nose.
Yeah.
Now the next frame though is what's cool because you see his hand. You see his hand on the tree there. You see it's right there on the right side of the circle. You see his thumb on the right side. Move to the right. Yeah, go up. It's inside the white circle.
Okay. Oh, here.
No. There's a tree. Go to the right side of the circle. Your other right. Go down. The other right. To the right side. Yeah, right there.
Okay.
Go up just a hair. Whoa, down. You're right on it. That's his thumb. Of his left hand. Because look in the next frame, it's gone.
Right. Okay. Hang on.
And in the next frame, you catch him with his mouth open a little bit. This is Mark and Melanie's Ask You what they're catching out there. That was the first one. There's actually another one beside him, but you can't see. I guess it's a him. I don't know. It's a big, huge, ugly thing, though. Very, very hairy, bushy.
Okay.
That looks nothing like what I saw.
Look at that thing. Yeah.
Yeah. See the hand's gone, and his mouth. See his mouth is open.
Yeah.
Now. He's turned just a little bit.
Yeah.
But you see that apex on his head look really good. Heavy brow, hooded nose, and there's another one right beside him to his left, but you can just barely see a little faint face back there. You can see it a lot.
I can see it. Yeah.
It's really not bright, but I mean, this is what they're catching out there, and they throw apples, and these guys just come out because they know they can't be seen.
Yeah. It's crazy, huh?
Yeah, very crazy. So you guys see that pretty clearly.
Yeah, definitely. I saw the second one a lot better than the first one for whatever reason.
Yeah,
I totally saw the face and everything. Yeah,
you look at both, and you can see where he's moved, and that's within I think 3 or 4 frames, and he sent me the difference, and you can you can find Crypto Reality on Patreon, and it's $1.99 a month, and that's the kind of stuff he puts up there when they go. A lot of other stuff they put up there. A lot of their old shows they made, you get to see there when you go. And then $1.99 is just the minimum. Of course, it's Patreon. You can pay whatever you want. But definitely, they definitely do good work. Nobody takes data down like they do, and it's mostly Melanie. Mark takes down, the data, but Melanie keeps it. Those guys, they're a very good tandem. And when we're going down there, we had to push it to January, but we're going to go down there and tell their whole story.
Can't wait for that.
Their 6-year-long story and just some of the best stuff they have. To me, it's better than anything I've seen anywhere else. The reason I contacted Mark Zaski to begin with, the whole thing that got me started on this back in the Bigfoot thing was he was putting pictures up of what I had seen. I hadn't seen it anywhere else. He was catching it. And it kind of started this excitement, I guess. That's when I started having, because I was good for about 8 or 9 years. I was okay. I started having the panic attacks again and the bad dreams, and just it was coming back because of that. And then Linda is the one that talked me into going down there and facing it. These things that you bottle up, you put away, these truths, these things that for sure. If you don't confront them, they're going to come out somewhere. And that's what happened to me. It took long enough. I went to great lengths to put all that stuff away, but still looking at it, looking back, looking into the subject, just looking for something. And finally, when I found that stuff, brought everything back, went down there, figured out for sure that I do not want to go look for them because they're there. There's no doubt. That's why we're going down to do the expedition in Florida, because Mark knows where they are. He can put us right on. And you have to be absolutely out of your mind to go in there after him. Mark won't even go in there. He said, well, I'm not going. He won't go at night anymore. The last time they went at night and he had the thermal is when he made it back to the truck after he saw like 10 or 11 just heads popping up. And he said, Kerry, one of them was so massive. He thought it was a bunch of them together.
Wow.
But because there were heads behind, but they started separating. in the bush. And he said it had to weigh 1,500 pounds. It was unbelievably huge. So, and I mean, that could, who knows how big that thing is. That picture you just saw is from 80 yards away. That's a long way off. Especially,
they could take him out any time, couldn't they? But they don't, do they?
Well, they're not in the woods. They're like right on the edge, filming into this little area.
So do you think, does he think that they I think, what does Duke call them, Adam, eaters? Or some of the eaters, like some of the, like, I don't know, some people think they're different types, some cannibalistic, some, so does he think those ones are like the bad?
No, Mark thinks they're all the same, just like I do. Just like, I mean, the same in the respect that people, would be the same. I think it's no different that, you have different types of people and races of people. I think Sasquatch are the same way. It's almost apparent that it's that way. They just look so much different. Even in that area, they can look so much different from one another. The guy I saw looks so much like a person, straight faced, but whenever he got upset, his face really changed a lot. But I mean, that thing right there, that would give anybody nightmares. That's the boogeyman, without a doubt, straight up. That's the boogeyman right there. That's him.
Yeah.
And the boogie woman was probably right there beside him, holding his hand. But you can smell them down there, and it's a totally different type of odor.
Can you describe it?
Urine, really strong urine. You ever leave like a rag out too long and it gets that stale,
like a
musky stale smell, mildew.
Nasty.
Yeah, kind of mix those two together, and really strong.
Yeah, and
it comes and goes. It's not like continuous. It's not a hog. Hogs have a particular smell. They have a musty smell to them, but hogs are more like poop smell, like sewer.
Yeah,
you're gonna smell more of a sewer type. This is not them. And there's no bathroom out there. These things are covered in hair. I imagine when they have to go, they just go.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's some dribblage getting on them.
They probably just go like any other type of animal in the woods goes.
The bears smell. What do bears smell like?
Bears have a distinct reek to them too. And people here in the Adirondacks confuse a bear smell oftentimes with what they think is a squatch, but a lot of times I think it's just they're smelling a bear. And you don't always smell a bear. It's kind of like what Carrie was saying with the squatch. You can be kind of in close proximity to a bear and not smell anything, and other times you can smell it coming from a long ways away, depending on, I guess, how bad the thing stinks. But they can stink. What I smelled here in the Adirondacks, I just don't think that there's any way that it was a bear that I smelled. It was super strong.
This is why he takes over from
men.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
That's why I get Matt Larson to take over for me. That right there. That's why he is a funny guy.
Do you know anything about Joshua LaFleur and the 1850s Bigfoot War?
No.
Oh.
But I'll definitely look into that.
It sounds familiar. I mean, I don't know if it's the same thing I heard about.
I love history.
I think there was,
before the Civil War. Before the Civil War.
I'm trying to put my I don't know what that's all about.
A long time ago. No, I haven't. I'll have to look that up. Who is that again?
I'll send you a link.
Okay.
So on the law of averages, I know there's probably not a number of this, but I can't get my head away from these numbers these days. How many, on a percentage wise, how many of your guests on the researchers' report getting hit with like infrasound or something like that, or the fight or flight, like all of a sudden, boom, like, would you put it in the 20%, a third, half and half, or, I don't know. I'm just asking as a, I've I've kind of stepped away. Maybe people in the chat know. I don't know.
I'm not even sure Bigfoot do that.
Oh,
a
really?
A lot of people believe they do. I think there's definitely something going on with EMF in the proximity of these creatures. I think that to me, that's what explains things the most. You know, if you really break down what's going on, what people are experiencing, EMF, high levels of EMF, these are the side effects of it. Losing time is one thing. Hearing voices is the one thing, mind speak. I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm just saying it could be. It is an explanation. Sick, disoriented, feeling,
nervous, high anxiety,
panic attacks. Yes.
I mean, that's what I've definitely felt it before.
Drain your batteries, and depending on polarity, can charge your batteries.
I've heard the charger batteries thing.
Yeah.
Now, Adam, remember when you got hit with that? Now, I'm trying to say, was there anything before that? Were you kind of like, you know, how people say the law of, you know, if you think about it, or, you know, you can manifest it, or, you know what I mean? Like
The Secret.
Kind of pulling it into your universe. Was there anything? No?
No, this is years and years ago, way before I started doing serious research about the subject. And I didn't realize it until I started getting into the subject. And it came to me one time, like, I remember that happening to me at Deer Leap on Lake George. And I started researching that particular area and found out that there's a lot of sightings coming from that particular area, which just totally made sense to me. But no, I wasn't looking for it. There was nothing out of the ordinary I was doing. I was hiking with some friends, and about 3/4 of the way up the hiking trail, I started feeling strange. The two people I was with didn't feel anything weird. They were just, everything was normal to them, nothing strange. And I'm like freaking out, having some really serious anxiety. And then once we got to the summit, I just was like, let's get out of here. And they're like, oh, well, let's hang out for a while. I was like, okay. And I didn't want to say anything to them. Like, I'm scared. I need to go home. Middle of the day. It was very strange. So
I had that feeling in Brown Springs, like you're being watched. I had that feeling in Brown Springs. Very creepy. I had like an electrical feeling, like being zapped with electricity almost. Just a very weird, uncomfortable feeling in Nebraska, in two different places. Yeah, where Linda she didn't run off on that one.
Yeah.
So, but the thing with charging the batteries, it's an inductive process. Have you ever seen a wireless charger?
Yep, I got one right here.
That's how they work. It's just a coil of wire inside a pad. You coil wire and put electricity through it, and you create electromagnetic resonance. So it's same deal. If it's a high enough level, like 300 milligauss, you know, we recorded that much in the middle of the woods down in Florida with a millimeter, 150, 200, 300 spikes, but it would just go away to nothing. Now, what's in the middle of the woods? There's no power lines. There were no transformers nearby. There was water running. I don't know if that causes any kind of, you know, disturbance. Like, who knows if it's ley lines or whatever. But I mean, you can take an EMF meter in your house and go to your box and get 2, maybe 3. It's going to be high. That's inside your home, and we were getting 300 in the middle of not in the middle of nowhere necessarily. You could hear cars, but still in the woods. So I mean, who knows? I don't know if they cause it or if they're drawn to it somehow. If you find these places where maybe it is ley lines. I don't know. There's something to it, I believe.
What's this meter? How do you meter this stuff? What's it called? How much does it cost? Is it something anybody can go pick up?
You can get an EMF meter. You can get a K2 meter, but that's just lights. You see ghost hunters use K2 meters. It's all it does is detect EMF, electromagnetic frequencies, and it's got lights on it, but it doesn't give you a number. You can get a Mel meter, which was also created for ghost hunting, but it'll actually give you a number and temperature. It gives you a bunch of different readings, but there's so much stuff out there now that gives you all kind of different readings. But you can get an EMF reader that's got the needle that, you know, is really, really very sensitive. You can buy those. I don't know how much they are. No, wouldn't even remotely guess.
I think the BLB needs one of those, Jake.
Yeah,
for lots of different reasons too.
It's a data point.
Geiger
if you're gonna take down information and start keeping data, EMF would be a good thing to use. I think when you're in there, you can mark times where you were when it happened, and when you go back, and try to repeat these things. This is what Mark and Melanie's asked you to do. And a lot of this stuff people don't see. They just see the pictures. And when we go down there, you get to hear their story and how they do everything exactly. I think it's going to be a huge help to the Bigfoot community at large if people listen. A lot of researchers are set in their ways. They're hard-headed. I probably would be one of those that I know what I'm doing. I got this. So that's how a lot of these things end up being. I know too many that are that way, and this is how they end up knowing all these things. They end up, because they believe it themselves. They're so convinced that this is what's going on that these theories turn into facts over the years. And I get it. I understand. If you do this for 15, 20 years and you're truly, objective enough to be honest with yourself to say, I really haven't learned a lot. That's a hard thing to admit over a 15, 20 year period. So you have to tell people something.
Yeah.
And it's not, these people are not lying. They actually believe these things. They're not trying to pull the wool over your eyes. These people they're actually convinced that what they're telling you is fact. But if you break down, because I've talked to a couple of these guys on the phone that were just telling me these things. These only way you're going to actually know them is through observation, long-term observation that repeatable, to know that it's what they do and not just something they did one time, and
why they do it.
Right.
It's not, you can witness something, but you might not know what it's doing.
Exactly.
So,
but it all comes back to, well, it's my theory. Okay. That's not how you put it out there. And like I said, it's not something that happens on purpose. I think it's just I think it's human nature to do that. I'm not saying I wouldn't be the same way. We come down on them for doing that, but it's just, you got to be. It's hard to be truly objective. We're human beings. We all have our own biases, our observational biases, and they're all different.
Yeah.
Anybody up for an encounter story?
Let's do it.
This particular story came through as the guy said who he was, but he said he wanted to remain anonymous. This isn't real current, but we've had this kicking around for a little bit. We wanted to brush a little dust off of it and get it out there for everybody. Yeah, and so why not? This story comes from up near your way, BLB boys. This happened over 35 years ago when I was little. It was a dark and stormy night. Just kidding. It was late September, and me and my family were getting some nice work done around the house. I was little, so back then my main job was to just do the best I could by raking up the side yard. We were on a 40-acre piece of property back then, and the side yard butted up against a very thick tree line. I was raking and raking. It seemed like it would never get finished. I was little, and the work was wearing me out, but I was tough and wanted to make Dad proud, so I kept on going. I was almost finished when from in the tree line I heard someone talking. So I stopped and listened for a bit, but I heard nothing. When I started raking again, the voices started again just as soon as I started raking. I stopped, and the voices stopped too. I was thinking I was starting to lose my mind, and to be honest with you, I started to get a bit frightened, as I was just little at the time, remember? I had to get back to the raking, and I had to get it done to make Dad proud, so I started again. This time, trying real hard to listen to what they were saying whilst I was toiling. I stopped abruptly, and I did hear the voices kind of trail off right there in the woods. I yelled, "Who's there?" But there was no response. I yelled again, and this time I heard what sounded like one of our heads of cattle when it gets real sick, all raspy and gross. This scared me tons. So I thought it would be best to just stop the raking and go do something else on the other side of the house. As I picked up my thermos and hat, whatever this thing was, went charging and crashing deep into the woods. It was very fast, way fast to be a guy, and too loud to be a guy. I mean, this thing was wicked loud. I remember, like it was yesterday, that it sounded like it was on 2 feet. However, and whatever it was, it scared me more than I've ever been scared in my entire life, even to this day. I went running down to the barn to tell my dad what just happened, and he told me to work with him for the rest of the day, which was fine by me. I loved working in the barn with all the cool animals and stuff. I asked my older brother Todd if he heard it, because he was painting on the porch that day, but he said, nope, I didn't hear a thing. I asked the rest of my family too later at dinner, but nobody heard anything, which I thought was really messed up, because this thing was louder than you can imagine. Anyway, I still never found out what that thing was, but I tell you this, my days of trespassing onto the neighbor's property to play in those deep woods ended that very day.
I know what it was.
Ha!
That just seems pretty, I don't know, seems pretty.
That sounded revolutionary. Revelationary. Paul Holland has a really good point here. Some 20-year experts in any craft or profession are really 20-year experts as they grow each year. Some 20-year experts are really 1-year experts 20 times over.
Good point.
I think I agree with that wholly, especially in the Bigfoot. What was this? What was the Jake?
Huh?
It was almost like you had an epiphany there for a second.
Ha! Yeah. Adam and I, we ourselves, we look at us. We're 6 years going on 7-year experts now since we've got the bug and got the call. And
you're really good at putting a show together. You are good at that.
Adam, he's the genius. What is nice is this Bigfoot community coming together. We're crowdsourcing the Squatch, different channels, teaming up, and it looks great. It feels
Adam
great.
Is a genius. He is. Adam helped me with some audio stuff on Final Cut Pro. So some stuff that I didn't know that I know now that's benefited everyone else. So thank you, Adam.
Yeah,
that's that story, man. I mean, what else could that be?
Yeah. I too grew up on a farm when I was a kid, and the thing about the cattle, I don't exactly remember any cattle being making any noises like that, but we did have horses, and I mean, I don't know if it was livestock or what, but I know a certain sound of a really messed up animal when I don't know if it's sick or what, but a big, gross, raspy sound I've heard before. I've never heard anything like that in the woods. I've heard of things like that on the farm, but never in the woods before have I heard anything like that.
When that thing you heard, what did it sound like?
That I heard?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I only heard it sounded like, your classic Ohio howl, really. The largest vocalization I've ever heard was that pretty much typical Ohio howl, really, really long and really, really, really powerful. And like I've told people before, it vibrated the panes of glass in my workshop. They were going and,
wow.
It was definitely woke me up and made me want to. That sound that night is what got me serious about research. Is that?
I have heard howls in the woods, but I knew exactly what it was.
Yeah,
they were red wolves, and they have that deep sound.
Mm-hmm.
I never heard any kind of scream or yell in the 7 years until that day. That's the only time I ever know for sure that I couldn't say, yeah, I know what that is. When he yelled, and that was that, it was nothing like anything that I've ever heard anywhere. The tone, it was an angry wow, like a baboon does. You hear those baboons do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like that, except powerful and loud. So I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me why they do this, unless it's some like a beckoning call or something, a female, mating call. I've heard someone call it a mating call. Now, what do you think it would take to know that?
You have to be an expert.
Stand a mile apart.
They hunt a mile apart from each other. Wow. I mean, do
you remember Jay was on, wasn't he? And he said he'd researched with him. And I was going to ask him at the time if he'd ever asked him to stand a mile apart from him so they could study. Because you'd need more than one person, wouldn't you?
Sure. You'd need to be observing one and know that it was hunting, to know that what it was doing is hunting.
Yeah.
And then have someone a mile away observing another one doing the same thing and know that they were working in tandem somehow. There's a lot of, these things that these researchers say. Now, this person that said this believes this. He believes that this, because he's been doing this for however long, he's come to this conclusion that this is what they do. And for whatever reason, it couldn't have been that it was a directly observed thing. It has to be a theory, but that's not how these things are put out. And there are people that, and God love the people that follow Bigfoot Odyssey and listen to us, because I say a lot of stupid things all the time. I'll listen back to the show. I was like, man, that kind of sounded stupid. And
it's part of growing.
Sure. Absolutely. But there's no one holding these people's feet to the fire, really, saying, they'll do what I did and just turn the channel to something else and not watch again. You end up seeing this happen. We're very fortunate to have, our travel show. That's what people have subscribed to us for. People did not subscribe to us for the live show. I hold no illusions about that at all. If we'd never done a travel show, we'd probably have about 2,000 or 3,000 subscribers at this point, I think. But the travel show, we got really very lucky with that. I think that we were able to put together something that nobody else was really doing, and it just happens to people watch it. We get more views than we have subscribers. We get a lot less views on this than we have subscribers. That's why I know this. And you end up seeing this with a lot of the Bigfoot channels that get 10 or 15,000 subscribers and get 200 or 300 views. They've just run everybody off. That's what's happened. Instead of stay in there with them, guys, and just start asking these questions. Start making them tell you how they know these things. And don't accept, well, I've done it for 30 years. Don't accept that answer. Let them give you the journey, the Odyssey, if you will, of how they know this. What did you see exactly? How do you know this? And because if it turns out to be true, then that's something we can check off the list. We know this now. Absolutely. But, and a lot of it, unfortunately, is people just wanting to sound like an expert, wanting to sound like they've lived among these creatures. And that's, it's unfortunate. It really is for the subject. It's turned it into what it is. That's what I believe.
Yeah, there's a lot of back and forth out there in the community.
There's definitely a problem.
Yeah, big
because
problem.
These creatures exist. These beings, these creatures are out there. They are real. They exist, people. And all all these things that people have brought into it, all this baggage, all this luggage, that's what I call it, this extra stuff, these theories that have turned into facts, and people believe it. And it gets changed a little bit and turned out, well, I heard this and I heard this. Oh yeah, well, they do this, and the structures mean this, and the yells mean this, and this is a mating call, and they hunt a mile apart from each other and come down from the mountains 30 minutes before dark, and go to church on Sunday, and perform surgery at 5 o'clock in the morning, and all these things, all these absolute truthy things that people know. Now, there are some things that are pretty self-evident when it comes to these creatures, and these are the things that I talk about a lot of times, and I may put it out there as a fact, but to me, it's evident that they hide and that they're big and mostly big, ugly, and hairy. Some of these things are self-evident, but these intricate things, what was it someone said one time, and this is the last thing we'll say about it, that if someone tells you they saw a Bigfoot and his knees were locked back, they're lying. Now I'm paraphrasing. But how can you possibly know that Bigfoot can't lock their knees back? That is a examining table fact to me. I mean, even if you observed them for 20 years and never saw them lock their knees back, doesn't mean they can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's those things. And then to call someone a liar for saying they did see it. Come on, man. You know, this is not the direction we need to take this subject. We need to be writing down everything we see. Keep a journal of when you go out there, you're seeing something, date it, time, what's the weather, what temperature is it, all this type of information. I think we'd get a lot further. And of course, people want to be entertained if you're doing video, but there are a lot of us that would watch someone collecting this data, and I'm one of them. So hey,
I'll tell you quick before we end. I follow a channel. It's two ex-detectives. They follow cold cases, missing people, and stuff like that. And recently, there was a woman 4 months ago. She's been missing in Colorado, and her brother, along with the help of this channel, organized over 500 people search over a week in this area to try and find some evidence or something for this missing woman. And they developed an app, and literally everybody had this app on their phone, and whatever they found, they just take a picture and it records the date, the time, the location, the GPS, literally everything with that one click of a button. And they didn't have to pick anything up. They didn't have to do anything. It was just all there. And something like that would be really useful. Every time you see a print, if you think stick structures are connected, log a structure. If you think a tree snap is connected, you know, and eventually you're going to see a pattern, surely, of what's going in what direction. Maybe, I don't know. It's just something to work to or to experiment with. But that would be interesting to have that app.
Do you know anywhere we can find this app or what it's called? Because I want that.
I think I can find out more.
Okay.
From you.
Yeah, we need to start advertising something like that, because there are just of the researchers that are out there. There are some that are doing this, you know, Zasky, the people that take it seriously enough to be out there doing something for the rest of us, not just for themselves. You know, Crypto Reality does it. Central Florida Bigfoot does it. The Lost Cryptids guys, they do it. Brown Dwarf does it. You know, these guys, Colorado Bigfoot, you know, collecting information. And I'm not saying that these guys, some of these people are not experts in the field in their own mind, but they're out there getting hard data, you know, things that graphable things that you can put down. So that's what I would suggest to anyone, but find out what that app is, Danielle. We'll start advertising that bad boy.
Yeah, I want to check that out.
I want to shout out to Heretic Knives. Those guys make an absolutely fantastic product. I have one. I'm going to show it. I'll show it. It's amazing. This is legal, by the way. It's the coolest thing ever. Brad gave me this thing. So shout out to them. We don't have an endorsement with them or anything, but if you want to get somebody a knife for Christmas, get them a Heretic, because these things are fantastic. And shout out to Duke Spirits. They support Bigfoot Odyssey. Thank you. So yeah, weapons and alcohol.
Sounds about right. I like it.
Awesome mix.
It is a good mix. Yeah. safe and fun for the whole
drink
family.
And drive. Drink responsibly.
What is the? Yeah, I think it's called alcohol and high-powered rifles up here is what we go. But yeah, weapons and alcohol, same thing. Yeah. We call it booze and high-powered rifles, right, Adam?
It's a good time for the whole family, Jake.
But hey, look, I'm going to try to save what little bit of internet I have left for tomorrow night.
Okay,
everybody, it's been a great show. First, good show, guys. Thank you guys for showing up here. Daniela, awesome. You do awesome as always.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys here tomorrow, hopefully for round 2 of our 12 days of Christmas. Who's here?
Jay Production.
Awesome.
Finding Jay.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's a great guy. It'd be a good night.
You guys have a great time. Merry Christmas to all. Hope everybody has a great holiday and has a fun time with their family, and stay safe out there.
Yeah.
All right. Absolutely. Good night, everybody.
Night, guys.